Let's take a look at our minor key signatures and how to come up with them if I give you the letter. So, the objectives of this lesson are to review the major key signatures, to define what relative minor and relative major are, to define what parallel minor and parallel major are. We will then compare our parallel keys, and here we go. Let's look at our major key signatures. If you look here in the middle column, we have every letter of the musical alphabet, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then on the left side, we have the flat sides of those letters. And then on the right side, we have the sharp side of those letters. Feel free to pause this for a moment if you want to look at how the two sides compare. But we've already gone over this. Now, let's talk about relative major versus relative minor. What does that mean? Well, relative major or minor means they have the same key signature, but a different root or starting pitch. So for example, C major has no sharps or flats. The relative minor key to that should also have no sharps and no flats, and the relative minor is A minor. Let's do another example. So if we have the key of D minor, which has one flat, to find out what the relative major to that minor key is, you have to know what also has one flat. Which major key has one flat? F major. So D minor and F major are relative to each other because they have the same key signature. Let's look at this chart for a minute. And if you look, we have two boxes on the left hand and on the right hand side. The left hand side are our flat minor keys, relative major and minor keys, and the left hand side are the relative major and minor keys of sharp keys. Take a minute to look at this if you want to see how they compare to each other. So now, the focus of this lesson really is about parallel major and minor. We want to see if you can find the pattern if you know a major key, if you can figure out what its minor key is. So, what does parallel major and minor mean? It means you have the same root, but different key signatures. So I'm going to give you an example to start with. The key of C major has no sharps or flats. The key of C minor has 3 flats. How did I get that? Well, let's try a second example to see if you figured it out yet. E major has 4 sharps. What would E minor have? E minor has 1 sharp. Now let's look at these on key signatures and see if you can figure out the pattern here. We'll do a few examples. A major, 3 sharps. What's an A minor? No sharps, no flats. What's the pattern? Here's another example. F sharp major. Hopefully you've memorized this and you remember that F sharp major has 6 sharps. What does F sharp minor have? 3 sharps. Let's do another one. B flat major has 2 flats. So what does B flat minor have? 5 flats. How did I get that? It's the same pattern for all of them. I did the same thing to each major key signature to get its minor. Let's do another one. A flat major has 4 flats. What does A flat minor have? 7 flats. Here's another one. D major has 2 sharps. What does D minor have? 1 flat. So, if you think you're ready and you think you figured it out, try the practice quiz that I have for you online. Good luck.